Hello and welcome to Out of Our Box. I'm Ricky and I'm here with my co-host and very good friend Aaron. How are you?
I'm all good, thanks, man. You?
I'm very good, thank you very much. Today we are going to get into the saga that is David Coote and the mishaps of a Premier League referee, I suppose. If you
The
want
the
to,
constantly evolving mishaps of Premier League referee David Coote.
yes. And if you like football or you're into your football, I don't think you could have missed this story through what, a week? Has it been a week?
I think it started Monday, didn't it? So yeah, we're Friday now. So
Yep. Um,
because yeah, it definitely happened after the games had finished last weekend because international break. So it was. I'm sure it was either late Sunday night or early Monday.
okay. Yes, and the mishap, or I don't know what to call it. What should we call it? The
Faux pas.
the faux pas in question is well that I know of is two videos at the moment.
Yeah, two that have been posted on Twitter, and then there's other stuff that's been alleged.
Yes, we'll get into just the videos first of all. Obviously, the first video was David Coote in a hotel room.
I think yeah, or someone's living room.
Yeah, but I believe it was. They're saying that it was at the Euros.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was definitely in a hotel room, and then after a game that he'd refereed, allegedly.
Okay, yeah. Before we get into anything, everything is allegedly apart from obviously what was said on the videos.
Yeah.
And the first video, obviously, he calls Jurgen Klopp a German expletive. The word that starts with C. We can say it on here, but just
Yeah.
want to. It's pretty harsh. He was sitting down with his friends, and his friend said he ate Scousers as well in said video. But
Yeah.
it's a pretty damning video, the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then ironically, or not, it was a Scouse Liverpool fan who released this video onto Twitter. So
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
so the guy's username had LFC in it. So
okay.
clearly a Liverpool fan with an axe to grind. I mean, as a Man United fan, I don't think he said much wrong. But
Well,
me and I didn't have the greatest opinion of Jurgen Klopp myself, but as someone who's paid to be impartial and referee Premier League football matches, it's not really what you want to be
yeah.
caught on camera saying.
No, I think it's the nationality thing that probably took it a bit too far, maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes. So after the video was published, Coop did come out, and because there was lots of alleged things that obviously people were saying that it may be an AI video.
yeah. When I was first watching it, I was like, surely he's not done this. Or not just the fact that you just feel like why would you sit with a camera in front of your face like that and say something so blatantly open that you know could end up on the internet one day and ruin your career?
I don't know, only he knows. But he had to
Yeah,
come out afterwards and said that it is not an AI video, but he does not remember saying any of it, and he does not remember the video being taken, which is a bit
yeah, that old one.
which is a bit strange as it goes. If he's saying no, it's definitely not AI, it's me, but I don't
Yeah,
remember. But I don't remember it.
yeah. I mean, as soon as he saw that pop up on Twitter, he must have been like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Here we
Um,
go.
yeah, well, and that's baffles me that he knows it ain't AI, but he don't remember it. Yeah, pretty damning video, the first one, and obviously, in the coming days afterwards, there
Yeah,
was
probably a
a
day and a half afterwards, I think.
yeah, and there was a second video where he sniffs a white substance.
An unnamed white substance.
I think we all know what a white substance is, but I mean, technically it could be anything, but,
It could,
but
but the evidence is pretty damning.
yep, the evidence is pretty damning. He obviously was off his tits.
Yeah.
But it's for a Premier League referee. I mean, it's pretty damning as a whole.
Yeah, well, these people are paid to be impartial, and they're supposed to be there to enforce the laws of the game. So both teams are playing it on an equal footing, and then obviously we know as football fans, you do naturally have prejudices, and apparently he's a Notts County fan,
Okay.
so he would be banned from refereeing their games. But it's one of the problems with refereeing. Like whoever's going to be a referee is generally going to be into football, and they will have an allegiance somewhere. But
Yep.
yeah, his sort of thing stemming from the first video was like he had an interaction with Klopp, wasn't it, after the final whistle during I think it was Burnley, Liverpool during lockdown. And then the final whistle was Andy Robertson and Klopp. As they're walking off, he's giving him dog's abuse basically about being a shit referee. And he didn't take too kindly to it. It seems that he held a grudge.
Yeah, but going into that and into that territory, do you think it happens a lot?
Oh yeah, he must do. Like if you're say you're a fourth official, you're on the sideline, standing in between the two managers. The guy refereeing the game gets the decision wrong. You're getting pelted constantly from both managers, aren't you? So someone says something to you don't particularly like, you're gonna think next time he's like, oh fucking hell, like I remember what you did last time.
Yeah. I mean, I go to football over at Dagenham Redbridge, and it's the fans that do more abuse, I think.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
so close to the pitch that it's
Yeah.
more of the fans, but which is funny. Sometimes you think, oh, but
Yeah.
it's in the heat of the moment, and
Yeah.
that is football. But yeah, as in the game goes, as Premier League officials, I think you have to be impartial, but does some blame, not to blame Klopp or any other manager, but does some blame go on to the managers?
Yeah, I think so. Well, if you take rugby for an example, not like a huge watcher or anything, but there's definitely a higher level of respect for the officiating team compared to football, isn't there? Like they don't allow players or managers to sort of berate the referees or anything like that. So it's something that's just sort of been ingrained into football forever, really. And it's probably something that's just built up, and maybe well, it probably is something that does need to be addressed. And they did try to do it last season, didn't they? They stopped players from surrounding the refs, and only captains could speak to them. And it sort of worked for a bit, but everyone was getting so many yellow cards that they seem to not doing it this year.
Yep. And does some blame go on to the players?
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean,
Like,
if you're in that hostile environment and you are a ref, not taking away anything from the videos and whatever, because they are what they are, but
yeah,
I think there's a bigger picture because it must be hard officiating in I know they've got more officials on the sidelines and
yeah.
they can do it,
Video
but
referees now.
as that one man in the center of the pitch, you got players on you,
Yeah,
you got a manager. I
the
mean,
crowd.
I mean, one thing we don't know, which to bring up, we don't know. I would like to know, obviously, that argument between him and Klopp. I'd like to know what Klopp said to him
Yeah,
because you never know. There's two sides, and again, not taken away from the video, not taken away of calling Klopp whatever he did, but I'd like to know because in the heat of the moment, he could have said anything to him.
yeah. Well, in the bits that you can hear, that were shown on Sky, he says he's blind, and
Yeah,
because apparently he missed a quite a big call, and then Robertson saying it's like you didn't give us anything, you didn't give us anything. What's the point of you being out there?
yeah. I think in the heat of the moment, that's it. But then as well, in my mind as well, I think that sometimes football as a sport, any sport, not just football, but we'll focus on football. It's that aggression, that passion, that um, even camaraderie between the players and the manager.
Mm,
It should end on the football field.
yeah, which
That is
yeah,
it.
yeah, which sometimes it doesn't always do, obviously.
No, but as a whole. does it bring the Premier League referees' credibility into the spotlight?
100%. Well, it's been something that has always been discussed anyway. I think more so this year. Well, with David Coote in general, like our teams played recently, Man United, West Ham, and then there was a penalty decision which ended up going West Ham's way, which was never a penalty, and later admitted by Howard Webb, the chief of referees, afterwards that it should never have been given a penalty, and it cost Eric Ten Hag his job. Like, he
Yeah.
was sacked less than 24 hours later. So it's not just the credibility of these videos; it's like their general credibility of them being able to ref the game to the standard of the Premier League has been in question for quite a while now, I would say.
I definitely think so. I think sometimes you look at it and I think the standard of refereeing at the top flight of football is shocking sometimes.
Yeah. Well, this is the highest level of the game in England. It's one of it's the biggest league in the world, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's not only the credibility of the Premier League referees, does it bring a spotlight to VAR's credibility?
Yeah. Well, that one in question, this penalty gets given, it goes to VAR, and then somehow it gets given, and then a week later or whatever, it's Howard Webb comes out and goes, "Oh yeah, that shouldn't be given." It's like you've taken all this time to mull over a decision, and these extra referees are there to view this tape, and you still got it wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, how is that possible?
But I think the discussion of VAR on a whole is a big discussion. It's not used correctly, or it's just
No.
I personally just personal thing. I hate it.
Yeah, I do. If when you score, you never know if it's going to stand, so it sucks the fun out of celebrating. It's realistically, it should only be used for clear and obvious errors, which is what it was supposed to be for, and the automatic offside or semi-automated offsides, which worked really well in the Euros. So stuff like that should be like it's over in seconds, and it doesn't seem to affect much. Like other than these simple decisions or a blatant handball in the box, stuff like this, or a really rash challenge, like that's what it should be used for. It seems to be implemented far too much, and it's like they're looking for a way to get involved.
Yeah, well, it should be clear and obvious.
Yeah,
That's the biggest marker for me. That clear and obvious, because sometimes you look at it and it's 5 minutes, five
yeah. It's
minutes,
like, what are
over
we
5 minutes.
doing?
Sometimes it's
Yeah,
like if it's not clear and obvious, get
you
it
would have
out.
seen it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, you're right. Sometimes it's like they're looking for a reason to give a penalty or a foul. Sometimes it's been used outside the penalty box.
yeah,
Well, a lot of times it's
yeah.
been
A foul
used.
outside the box that led to a goal, and it's
Yeah,
like that will scrub it off.
the handball, the handball
Oh,
rule,
yeah.
just in
Who knows?
general.
Like, I've got no idea what a handball is now.
No, but because it's not consistent, because no referee is consistent with it. It's like
No.
your arm is in an unnatural position. It's like, but then you've seen people guide like their face, and
Yeah.
they want to save their face from getting hit with a ball, or other things like or arms down at the side,
Yeah, at the
and it's
side,
been
and then they'll
given.
be turned away from the ball, and it's like, well, obviously I can't get my and then how close the ball is from when it's kicked to the defender. It's like there's no sort of continuity of any of that. It's like one week you'll see one given, and then one week you won't, and you're like, well, what the fuck is it?
Yeah, no, it's
How
true.
is anyone supposed to know?
I think VAR has took something away from referees, if you know what I mean, because it's given it's not an easier job, but I think they rely on it far too much.
Well, and there's this thing as well that if it goes upstairs to the VAR, like the video assistant referee, it seems like they never go against that decision once that happens. So like they'll say go look at the monitor on the side of the pitch, and it's like this has happened. You never see them go, actually no, you're wrong. Like I'm sticking with my decision on the pitch.
Yeah.
It always gets overturned to whatever they say upstairs, which is wrong because like that penalty again, it's like it was clearly like it shouldn't have been given. And it's like, well, you can see that, you know, because you saw it firsthand and you're watching it again.
Yeah, and it's like now as soon as the ref goes over to the screen and
Yeah,
sees it,
you're like, it's it, it's done.
you
Yeah,
know, even before he's looked at it, he's like,
yeah, it's getting given.
yeah. And as a whole, I think VAR has took the fun out of scoring a goal because it's
Yeah, it
like
has.
every goal that goes in now, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
can you
Let's
celebrate?
wait. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not the way it should be in football. I mean,
No,
no other leagues have got it. In obviously England, I don't like it, but
no.
that's the VAR bit. The it's horrible. They can't get it right.
No,
They can't.
it clearly needs to be reworked.
Maybe it's not the technology. Maybe it's the people.
Operating, yeah. I think
Yeah,
that a lot of it is down to like when before we had semi-automated offsides and people were drawing these lines on the pitch and stuff, and it's like they're getting them in the wrong place. Like we could see
yeah, yeah.
it.
Every fan watching can see it. It's yeah, frustrating. Yeah, and the whole thing, does it bring the PGMOL, the Professional Game Match Officials Limited, does it bring their credibility into question?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably it's the biggest refereeing scandal this country's ever seen, isn't it? I don't remember anything quite like this before.
No, not with refs.
No. It's like other sports have had it with like match fixing and stuff like that. But I don't remember like anything like this happening, at least not in football.
But I think
So
one way that could sort of not solve it, but could be good is I think refs should be interviewed afterwards
yeah, 100%.
and be asked why did you make that decision?
Yeah, I don't understand why that we've been asking for that for a long time. So sure, like they write a match report afterwards. It's like, so why can't we hear from them? It's like
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be like directly as soon as they go off the pitch. It could be like half an hour later. Why did this happen? They should be made to like confirm their decision.
they definitely should. It should come into play because they can't just go out and have an interview and go, "Oh, VAR told me to," because
Yeah,
that's no good. That's pointless. That is
yeah, exactly.
you might as well not be on the pitch.
Yeah. Oh, why don't we just ref it with a computer?
Yeah, and that might be where it goes at the end. But
Yeah, well, I
yeah,
mean, at least you take completely taking out bias then. That's the one of the only ways you're ever gonna do it. Or I saw people saying that why aren't we using foreign referees? Because they'll have no instinctive club bias. And I was like, I do get that, but it we depending on the teams, like if bringing a bunch of refs from Italy or Spain, these are gonna have allegiances to teams there and possibly could have played in the Champions League and Europa League. It's like there's no real foolproof way of just bringing in foreign managers,
no, but the referees in this
referees.
country, the referees in this country, they have they've got a career and they've worked their way up
Yeah,
through the leagues and the English leagues, as it were, of football is different to the other leagues around the world.
yeah,
You would see a totally different type of officiating. You would
100%.
because you see it when you watch the Spanish league, the Italian league. The refs are different, and you see it when
Yeah,
in the Euros or the World Cup or
yeah. You
any
get a
other
ref
thing.
from Italy, and all of a sudden, what anything that you thought you would get normally, it's like it's completely different. You like you forget that you have to change the way that it's playing.
It's true, and yeah, I don't think that's the way to go. If I'll be honest, I don't. But
No,
is there a case for corruption underneath the officials?
I mean, one of my thinking was like, so these videos that have come out, why have they come out? Was like, could he have possibly been blackmailed by someone?
You
Like,
never know.
because usually that can end up being a reason why these things see the light of day. Someone might have hacked his iCloud or something like that and been like, "Look, we've got this." Is it? Could it be some like it? Could he been forced to make decisions a certain way because he didn't want them coming out, as he decided not to pay them, and that's why they've been put out.
Definitely a possibility. Yeah, the corruption amongst officials is, I think it's more highlighted because of in the last, what would you say, 3, 4 years, probably since COVID, that I think the officiating in top flight has just worsened, and
Oh, it
it's
has, yeah,
and the fans look at things not even like a decision in different games. Some are just in the same game.
yeah,
It's in exactly the same game. A foul will be given, then exactly the same thing will happen 10 minutes later, and it's
yeah,
not.
and then you don't get it.
There's no consistency.
No, I think hopefully one of the things that comes out of this is there needs to be a huge overhaul of how games are refed, and then the people that are doing it, like something's clearly gone amiss. I don't know if that they were resting on their laurels for training these new guys when they're coming in, but yeah, I would say at least 4 to 5 years you're seeing a steady decline in the quality of the refereeing.
Howard Webb, the head of the PGMOL, is he got a I don't know, he's got to take some responsibility, surely.
100%, yeah. Well, he's the head, isn't he? So
But
ultimately, this all rests on his shoulders.
they were saying that obviously a lot of the referees now were in place when he took over 18 months ago. So he
Mm,
obviously he took who was already there. But
yeah,
even though he took over, you've had 2 years. I mean, you come into something, and I don't know, is he just I don't know carried on with the same old routine? I know they have their meetups, and they every month or whatever,
yeah,
referees, and they do whatever. But I mean, what do they say in their own meetings?
yeah,
Is
exactly.
it exactly you don't know what
Sure,
goes on
it all just
behind
seems a
closed
bit of
doors.
a boys' club, doesn't it? They're all together, and then they all back everyone else's decision. Like when you even when you have like former referees on the radio and Sky, they very rarely go against the decision that the referee made on the day. They always find a way to justify it, and it's just like, oh, it's the fucking referees club again.
Yeah, yeah, and I think VAR has worse than that in effect because
Mm.
it's like if there wasn't that and the refs like prior to VAR, you got bad decisions against you. You
Yeah,
did
all the time.
all the time, but it was the ref on the pitch, and sometimes you take like as I said, go watch Dagenham non-league. There's bad decisions there. There is,
Yeah,
but you take it because
yeah.
you understand that it's
They can't see everything, and then yeah,
it always used to be part of the game. The bad decisions
yeah,
used to be part of the game, but in the Premiership now, with all the technology they got, that was meant to stamp everything out. It was meant to be the VAR clear and obvious. Shouldn't take, but what's the longest VAR has been? What 7 minutes or something like that?
yeah. I think so.
Was
I
it?
remember one really bad one. It's like nearly 8, yeah, 7 or 8 minutes.
I think one that sticks in my mind was it might have even been during COVID or just after the Suchek against Fulham. It was a handball and
Oh yeah, I remember
it took so long. It's,
that.
I know, but was it a handball? It was something to do with Mitrovic, but I can't remember exactly. But all I remember, I don't remember even what the thing was. I can't remember if it was an handball or what. I don't remember if he run into him or it was a. Oh no, it was an elbow. It was an elbow, Mitrovic, and he went down like a sack of shit. And and literally, it took ages. That I'm sure that one, what I'm thinking of is that might have been the almost 7 minutes one. Or
Yeah,
it's how is that clear and obvious? You should be able clear. What time frame should you have? 30 seconds,
yeah. He like that's it.
a
Like you
minute
should be able
max.
to see. It's there to spot mistakes, not find something that you didn't see.
Yeah, because you're looking like you find something, and as well when you get into that, footballers have something to. They've got to put some birds on their shoulders because if you're going to go down so easily when somebody I don't know a
It
strong gust of
brushes
wind.
past you. Yeah,
Yeah, and you're trying to fall. I mean, all these cameras, you should be able to. We see it,
yeah.
but it's not stamped out. I mean, look at diving. I mean, diving for all the cameras that should be stamped out right now, but they don't punish it.
No.
If
And
they
then it was
started
something that
punishing it,
they tried to do it and then they backed off of it. Same thing.
I think the reason why they back off it is because of the bigger teams in the Premiership, bigger teams in the league, because a lot of their players do dive. Can you imagine? Like, I'm not saying Harden does, or even Salah of Liverpool. I mean, he was renowned for it
Yeah.
a lot. Can you imagine every time Salah dive, you give him a red card?
Yeah. The uproar.
Yeah, he
Uh,
wouldn't be on the pitch, but that is the only
it
way
sounds
to
like
stop it.
David Coote might have been tempted, to be honest.
I called him some.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
called him some names. To back referees, that's the only way to stamp it out, to stamp
Yeah.
things like that out. If it's simulation, if you're gonna go simulation, it's red card.
But then the uproar recently with Declan Rice getting a second yellow card for knocking the ball away. It's like that should be a consistent thing. But even after that, so he got sent off for a second yellow card for kicking the ball away. He'd moved barely like a meter, and then they punished him. And then 2 games later, someone else did it. No one got a yellow card.
Yeah, it needs to be consistent. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's one of the biggest problems in top flight football. There is no consistency.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, getting back to David Coote, or Coote, sorry, I'll keep on
Yeah.
calling Coote.
Coots.
It's not Coote, it's Coote. Where does he go from here?
Oh, I've got a feeling this we definitely won't referee a game for the rest of the season, I wouldn't have thought. And then there'll be some sort of big inquest, I assume. I'd be very, very surprised if he refed another top flight game again, to be honest.
Yep, I wouldn't be surprised if there were more videos of
No, yeah.
uh, whatever he was doing. Obviously that night, and maybe others. I don't know. I don't know if there's other videos where he's been about.
Well, there was that other thing that I sent you as well, that a group of referees when they were out in Indonesia, was it? And then
Yeah.
with some potential ladies of the night.
But yeah,
So
as you said, it's a boys' club.
yeah, it is. And then that I think they were out there doing some sort of training or whatever, and it's like who like this could be just like the tip of the iceberg to uncover what's really been going on with a lot of these people.
I mean,
So I would expect the PGMOL to really dig down, and they're gonna have to get to the bottom of all of it.
I mean, will it have sort of the same rules as footballers have had? Like they've obviously been in lots of footballers have been in incidents, and
Yeah,
they get a ban and then come back, and it's sort of not forgotten. Everyone still remembers it, but they sort of carry on
yeah.
their careers. But I don't know. It's can you imagine David Coote coming out on the pitch again for a Premier League game?
I find it hard to believe, but then look at when we England playing at the Euros. One of our games was ref by was a German referee who was caught match fixing. So
Yeah, yeah,
that was like a third tier German game or whatever. But so it proves that anything is possible. But I think our press, the way it is over here, I find it hard to believe that he refs a top flight game again.
yeah. I mean, in sort of the light of day, as his credibility as a referee, what he does on a match day. I mean, I know he said this stuff about Liverpool and
Yeah,
Klopp, but has his actual refereeing ability from them videos took anything
yeah.
away from his refereeing ability?
I mean, alleged in one of the things that his party and he's trying to set up parties for after games, and then he's texting during the middle, like at half time. I mean, if that's proven to be true, that could probably question his ability. But ultimately, it's more of a character thing rather than his actual refereeing technique, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm sure many refs have biases, and
100%.
they look at games, and obviously, refing as much as they do, they come into contact with certain managers and certain teams that they like and dislike, or dislike more than others and like more than
Yeah,
others, as it were. I don't know if managers and players make a point of liking or disliking a referee to
I'm sure they do.
yeah, work. I mean, it is. I suppose it's a tactic
Yeah,
in a way. Yeah, it's a strange one, but it's there was something that needed to happen
yeah,
in the top flight of refereeing, and maybe this is it.
yeah. Hopefully, this will be the thing that they bring in a bit more checks and I don't know, different processes to make sure that their focus is fully on the games and stuff like this doesn't get out again.
because he's been in, he's done the VAR as well, hasn't he? He's sat
Yeah,
in
yeah,
he's sat in VAR. You never know what he's doing behind that screen.
exactly.
I thought they
How
might
many
all
videos has he done in there?
they might be all if they're not in the
Yeah,
VAR
yeah.
room.
Just one big party in there.
You never. Oh, we've got to make this
Yeah,
quick, quick,
anyone
lads.
see that? Yeah, that's why it takes 5 minutes because
Yeah,
no one watched it first time around.
yeah. They've all got to come back and go, oh, the screen. Oh, hold up.
Yeah, rewind that.
I can't see it. Oh, too pissed. I'm too pissed. Let me just snort this white substance first. Hold up, hold up.
Yeah, yeah. Sober myself up.
Yeah, it's. I think that yeah. Well, I know there's going to be much more to come with it because it's intriguing because it's weird that it's happened during the international break as well.
Yeah, I did really think that because like the timing is straight after the league games have finished. It's like, why did you do it then? And it's like it's got more room to sort of marinate without the Premier League games going on in a way. Because like a lot of people aren't really focused on international football. And this is the main story. Like every day it seems like something else is coming up. This has happened. It's like it it seems planned to me.
Yeah, yep, yep. It is definitely strange, and yeah, I don't know. As I said, I don't know where David Coote goes from here. I can't see him reffing. To be honest, I can't see him reffing again. Um,
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Saudi Arabia like his mate Mark Oliver.
I did,
Gets
yeah, I did hear that as well. I'd take anyone. Yeah,
Yeah, well, there that's another thing that calls into question the legitimacy of Premier League referees that Michael Oliver's refereeing games in the Far East paid by owners of current Premier League football clubs. It's like, should that be allowed? I don't think so.
I do. Yeah, 6 grand a game they get paid. The
Yeah,
Premier League referees, which ain't bad.
yeah,
I'm sure they do it weekly. So I don't know how much they
yeah.
get. I don't know how much
Did
if
you get 6 grand for a VAR? Because that's easy money, that.
yeah. I don't know how much the VAR um technicians, if you call as they
Yeah.
call them, get paid. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't want to keep us out of the word corruption, but it's it's not pointing to that way. But there's a
It's clearly
um
issues.
there's issues.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good way of putting it. There is definitely issues, and just like managers and players when they get controversy that it is dealt with, this needs to be dealt with, and maybe well, I think they should just scrap VAR anyway
Yeah, I do.
as a
I
thing.
do.
Going off the subject of David Coote,
Even if you just get rid of it for a season while you work on it,
yeah,
like try and make it better.
as we said, the only way you're going to make it better is the people behind it. It's not the
Yeah.
technology, is it? We can't do it,
Yeah.
and it's proven. How long do you keep on trying a fouled system?
Yeah. Without changing the people.
Yeah, maybe the whole PGMOL just needs a big overhaul, and
Yeah.
there,
I do.
I even see a thing of players like ex-players being in there, but would ex-players really want to go in there?
I don't think so.
I
There's
don't
a
think
reason
so.
they don't become refs as well, aren't
It's true, yeah. It is. There's no ex-players
there?
or refs. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a desirable job because it's not. I mean, some people want it because there are referees out there. I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a it's an ongoing thing, and when there's more out there, we shall have a laugh about it and delve into it because yeah, it's the biggest sport in the
Story at the minute,
world.
isn't it?
Yeah, biggest sport in the world and probably the biggest story in the world, not just England at the minute. Yeah. Until next time.
Nice. See you later.
See you, mate.